Steffi.
How are you today?
Beautiful, thanks.
Today we're discussing the chapter one of the spirituality score. Um, so, does it seem to you like life is moving a little too fast, or do you think it's always been this way?
I think it's been this way for me most of the life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think like technology has like a way of kind of like speeding life up?
I would say so, especially the AI
Yeah.
has speed things up.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of spirituality, I don't think anything changes
Nothing changes in
for
spirit.
spirituality part.
If somebody was to slow down and connect
Uh-huh.
to like the spirituality side of things, they would notice that time isn't really sped up. It's when they're more like stressed out and anxious that time just feels like
But
it's
yeah,
passing
yeah, that
by.
that is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
One of the big questions you ask in this chapter is this all there is? So
Uh-huh.
I think there's like a point in everybody's life where they ask like, is this all there is?
Uh-huh.
Did you have a turning point in your life where you're like, you stopped and you kind of ask yourself like, this is this all there is? Like there has to be more.
Yeah, I mean, that was actually my life changed when I broke my leg.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that what I was doing before I broke my leg was focused on myself.
Yeah.
And after that, the purpose I had in life was helping others, and that was the focus on others rather than focus on myself.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a big turning point.
So what was your mentality like before your accident? Like, um, so we can kind of notice the difference.
Well, I actually see most of the world doing that
Mm-hmm.
because when I look at the most powerful people in the world today who are the leaders of the countries,
Mm-hmm.
um, for us being Donald Trump, Putin for Russia, and Xi for China, and Kim Jong Un and North Korea, and then not so much Modi in India because he's not so much focused on himself.
Mm-hmm.
But and the other thing which is also interesting how um, we when we focus on ourselves, we lose the concept of kindness and gratitude
Mm-hmm.
and helping others
Mm-hmm.
because um, most of the people out there, I mean, uh, in addition to all the people I mentioned, you can even add some of the wealthiest people out there. They have the similar attitude of
Mm-hmm.
focusing on themselves, not,
Yeah.
not on others.
What do you think it would take for them to kind of have a turning point where they start helping others and realizing that there is more to life and
Well, like in my case, it was a simple reality where breaking leg was near death experience because I thought I died.
yeah.
So then I realized that if I almost died and focusing on myself and making all the money I had made, what's the point of it?
Yeah.
But, but all these other people I talked about, they have not experienced that, so they're still focused on themselves.
Yeah.
And you ask me, what would it take? Maybe near-death experience.
Yeah. I think that some of them are very well hated that they do fear for their lives some of the time.
Yeah, it's true,
Yeah.
because actually, um, especially, like um, two come to my mind, like the Putin. Do you know that because he's kind of classified as war criminal in the world court,
Mhm.
he can only travel to few places in the world
Wow.
because any other place he travels, he'll be arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Wow.
and Kim Jong Un is the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of think of what kind of a life is that? I mean, was now I was just talking about my life where all I was focused on myself and making money. I was not doing anything bad to anybody. But
Mm.
these people have been classified as war criminals.
Mhm.
So they have much worse reality of life than I did.
Mm.
I mean, can you imagine if you go anywhere else in the world except few places, few countries that you're friends with, you'll be arrested?
Yeah. I'd like to go out in public being liked
uh-huh.
and not go out in public being disliked,
Disliked or
hated.
hated or threatened.
Exactly.
It's the
Yeah.
same thing,
Yeah.
because, you know, although I don't want to bring politics into our podcast, but I was just reading 2 days ago that Melania, the first lady, had a documentary, and
Mhm.
they had in LA, in fact, in your neighborhood, they had
Yeah.
all these posters and they had defaced her.
Yeah.
They had horns and
Yeah.
mustache on her, and I thought
Yeah.
that was wrong.
Yeah.
but 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 when people do that, meaning, so now what percentage is very difficult to identify, but can you just imagine that um, like our president and our first lady, why are they hated so much?
Should
That's not good.
should we get into that?
No, no, we should, no.
Um, so for people who haven't had a chance to read the book yet, what is spirituality and what is it not? Like, what is the key differences between, like, I know that there's some like misconceptions on what it is and what it's not.
I tend to sometimes not remember how I phrased it or wrote it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so maybe you can tell us.
I just think that there's a big misconception when you say spirituality. Some people kind of see it as like mythical, like made up kind of you know what I mean?
Well, so let's, sometimes when you have a comparative reality, it becomes easier to understand.
Yeah.
So, spirituality is definitely not religious.
Yeah.
So, if you believe in any religion,
Yeah.
although all religions may have some spirituality, as
Yeah.
a component or as a base of it.
Mm-hmm.
But when we are very religious, we are more like fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
When we are dealing with spirituality, we are dealing with humanity.
Mm-hmm.
How to respect humanity, how to learn to have attitude of gratitude. I mean, that to me is spiritual,
Yeah.
but believing in a religion is not spiritual.
You mentioned that heart is the center of spirituality
Right.
in the book, which I think is beautiful and it kind of really sums up
Yeah.
spirituality.
Well, because, I mean, I believe heart is pure.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot influence it. And what you feel in your heart, think about in your heart, is true.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is spiritual.
Yeah. So I know that we talked about real world examples of people that are not good. Do you have real world examples of people that are
Good.
worth looking up to in the spiritual world?
You know, um, there was someone who's, a lot of people know, his name was Gandhi.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of him?
I have, yeah.
I think he was an example of spiritual being. And even though he was a politician, but he believed in humanity and kindness and attitude of gratitude and all those things which I think are part of spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
So he would come to me as close to being a spiritual being.
Yeah, beautiful. I think some people might look up to yourself as well.
Me?
Yeah. And if you haven't checked out the book yet, you really should
Yeah.
check out the book.
Yeah.
Sorry. Thank you for sharing your wisdom
Thank
once
you.
again. And we'll see you next week for a discussion on chapter 2.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh.
X-ray.